Clint Eastwood stepped into the small, upscale restaurant he had recently purchased. Known for his sharp instincts and no-nonsense approach, he had decided to drop in unannounced, wanting to see how things operated on a normal day. Without drawing attention, he blended in with the lunch crowd, quietly observing. Dressed in a worn leather jacket and a baseball cap pulled low over his face, he appeared like any other customer. Yet, there was an undeniable authority in the way he carried himself. Choosing a table near the window, he settled in, his sharp eyes scanning the room. The place buzzed with energy. The murmur of conversations mingled with the clatter of dishes and the occasional burst of laughter. On the surface, everything seemed to be running smoothly. He waited patiently for service. Lisa, a waitress in her late 20s, noticed Clint sitting alone at one of her tables. She wasn't exactly thrilled about taking his order. Having worked there for a few years, Lisa had grown tired of the long shifts, demanding customers, and endless hustle. Her sharp tongue and short temper had earned her a reputation among the staff. She was not someone to cross. Grabbing her notepad, she approached Clint's table, an expression of boredom mixed with irritation. "What can I get you?" she asked flatly, barely glancing at him. Clint looked up, his piercing blue eyes meeting hers. "I'll have the house special," he said in his calm, gravelly voice. "But could you put the sauce on the side?" "Not a big fan of it." Lisa let out an audible sigh, tapping her pen against the notepad. "We don't do special requests for the house special," she said, her tone sharp. "If you don't like it, maybe pick something else." Clint raised an eyebrow, surprised by her attitude. "It's just a small change. Surely that's not too much trouble." Her patience, already thin, snapped. "Look, I don't make the rules. If you have a problem with it, take it up with the owner." "Oh wait, he's never here. So, good luck with that." She smirked and turned away before he could respond. Clint leaned back in his chair, a faint smile playing on his lips. He didn't say anything, just watched her walk away. Throughout the rest of his meal, Lisa barely acknowledged him. She dropped his plate off without a word and never returned to check on him. As Clint ate, he continued to observe. He noticed Lisa's interactions with other customers, curt, dismissive, far from welcoming. It was clear she wasn't happy with her job, but that didn't excuse her behavior. After finishing his meal, Clint left a generous tip despite the poor service and walked out. Lisa, clearing the table, saw the money and muttered under her breath, "At least he wasn't cheap." Later that day, the restaurant staff was called to an unexpected meeting. The general manager, looking unusually nervous, gathered everyone in the dining area. "We have a special announcement," he began, his voice slightly unsteady. "The owner of the restaurant is here to speak with us." The room filled with whispers. Most of the staff had never even met the mysterious owner, who preferred to stay behind the scenes. Lisa folded her arms, uninterested. She assumed it would just be another speech about customer service and profits from some rich businessman. Then, Clint Eastwood walked in. The room went silent. Every jaw dropped. Lisa froze, her heart pounding as realization hit. Clint removed his cap, revealing the legendary face that had graced countless films. His steely gaze swept across the room, pausing briefly on Lisa before moving on. He stepped forward, his presence alone commanding full attention. "Good afternoon," he began, his voice calm yet firm. "I wanted to stop by and see how things are running. This restaurant now carries my name, and that's something I take very seriously." He paused, letting his words settle. The staff stood frozen, exchanging nervous glances. Lisa felt a knot tightening in her stomach. "I had lunch here today," Clint continued, this time locking eyes with Lisa. "And let's just say, it wasn't the experience I was hoping for." The room was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. Lisa's face flushed red as every set of eyes turned toward her. Clint didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The weight of his disappointment was enough. "Let me make something clear," he said. "Every customer who walks through these doors deserves respect. Whether they're here for a quick bite or a special occasion, they chose this place. And how they're treated determines whether or not they come back." His tone softened slightly. "I know this job isn't easy. I've worked tough jobs too, and I understand how difficult people can be. But that doesn't give us the right to be rude or dismissive. It's about pride in what we do and how we treat others. The weeks that followed saw a noticeable change in Lisa. The sharp, impatient attitude that once defined her was replaced with something new, genuine warmth. Smiles that used to be forced became sincere. Customers who had avoided her section before began requesting her, drawn to her attentiveness. At first, her co-workers were skeptical, but as time went on, they saw it wasn't an act. Lisa wasn't just trying, she was rebuilding. Clint Eastwood's visit had left a lasting mark, a quiet but powerful reminder of the pride and responsibility that came with the job. Months later, when Clint returned for another meal, Lisa recognized him immediately. Instead of nerves or dread, she felt something different, determination. She approached his table with confidence and a smile. "Welcome back, Mr. Eastwood. It's an honor to have you here again. What can I get for you today?" Clint looked up, studying her for a moment before a faint smile crossed his face. "I'll have the house special," he said, pausing slightly, "with a sauce on the side." Lisa let out a soft laugh, a hint of nervousness still there. Coming right up. She ensured everything about his meal was perfect, the plating, the timing, the service. Halfway through, she even checked in to make sure he was enjoying it. When Clint finished, he left another generous tip and asked to speak with Lisa. She approached his table, uncertain but ready. "You've come a long way," Clint said, his voice steady. "I can see it in how you carry yourself, in how you treat people. This place feels different, and I think that's because of you." Lisa swallowed hard, emotions welling up. "Thank you, Mr. Eastwood. Your words that day, they woke me up. I didn't realize how much my attitude affected everyone around me. I'm just grateful I got the chance to make things right." Clint nodded, his iconic half-smile appearing. "That's all anyone can ask for. You took the lesson and ran with it. I'm proud of you." His words hit Lisa like a wave of validation and gratitude. This wasn't just about redeeming herself in his eyes. It was about the sense of self-worth she had regained. As Clint shook her hand firmly before leaving, Lisa knew that moment would stay with her forever. Over time, Lisa's story became something of a legend in the restaurant. Eventually, she moved on, opening a cafe of her own. She named a dish the Eastwood Special, in tribute to the man who had unknowingly changed her life. And every now and then, Clint Eastwood would walk through her doors, quietly taking a seat in the corner, watching the life and warmth that had grown from one simple lesson: respect, second chances, and the power of believing in someone, even before they believe in themselves.